Perfect.
Oh.
And this is... How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back here with Billy. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Slumpy. I appreciate it.
This is probably going to be everyone's favorite video. Personally, my favorite video, speed training.
And when it comes down to speed training, Slumpy, there's two big factors that go into it. It's how far can you turn and how far can you create your arm path away from the ball. And then secondly, how much force can you use back down the other direction. So we're going to talk about that with the exercises that we do today. They're very simple. You can do them from home like you mentioned, and you'll get more speed from doing them.
Okay, let's get straight into it.
So drill number one, mate, you can use a band or something similar. What you're going to do, mate, is you're going to anchor it onto the left foot and we're going to create a backswing. The goal with this is to try and engage our lats as much as we can. We're trying to engage our glutes and try and create a powerful, fast movement. That's what the backswing is. So while we're doing this, it's a quick pull. I'm trying to, again, squeeze my lat muscle. My elbow's coming back, and I'm trying to squeeze into that glute as well.
Okay, and what's initiating that movement?
So we're trying to initiate it from the ground.
From the ground? Okay.
I'm glad you said that. It's a great question. Because with the ground, we store a lot of energy there. So if we can try and push into the ground, first that's going to help our hip rotate.
Okay.
And then secondly, it allows us to lift as well.
Right,
and extend.
So it's not just the arms pulling it back, right? It's using the ground to allow the upper body to extend up.
100%.
Okay.
So almost we think about this as being a flexibility, a strength, and a ground reaction drill.
Okay.
So it's almost a 3-for-1.
Yep.
And I'll get that under the left foot,
under the left?
sorry.
Yep, okay.
There we go. And even a little bit tighter there too, Slumpy. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, that's too tight. And then
from here, what we're going to do there, we're going to keep the elbow bent, and it's going to be almost like a lawnmower.
Yep, okay.
Perfect. And with this, we're trying to get your chest turning as much as you can. Perfect. And let's go faster again, mate. Nice.
Wow, I'm feeling a lot of stretch down the inner part. Yeah.
Correct. And what I'm looking for here is a big thoracic rotation. So Slumpy's getting past 90 degrees, which is great. We're seeing his right leg extend, so he's loading into his glute medius muscle, his glute max. And we're also seeing his feet start to turn out a little bit, which is a good sign that he's using the ground as well. Two more. And let's pick up the pace a little. That's it. Last one. Perfect. And this is How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good,
A few
good.
more of that, I would have been dead on the floor.
For sure. And with that as well, you can do the other side, which is obviously our impact.
Okay.
So we're trying to clear out of the way.
Yep.
So what did you feel happening from like the feet to the hips to the upper body?
I just felt like there was a lot of tension here. That was basically holding the posture and allowing me to hold that position at the top. Otherwise, if that falls, I feel like you wouldn't be able to create that much force. Sorry. But yeah, a lot of tension there. It's almost like my foot is turning. If you had a piece of paper standing on top of it, it was almost feeling like I'm turning it clockwise.
Yes.
But obviously not actually twisting it, but that was the feel.
Yes. And that's a great point you make, because that's your hip rotating, what we call internal rotation there, into the joint. So the fact again that your feet are working and you're forcing yourself into the ground, you're going to use the ground to create power from that.
Yep.
And there's a great saying that goes by the way of you can't shoot a cannon from a canoe. So if you've got a really unstable base and you're not using the ground well, you can't create speed from there.
Of course.
Because you're so unstable.
Yep.
So the fact you're driving in there, you've got a really good base to work from.
Okay. Yep. So now I'll try it on the lead side.
Yeah.
With the lead arm. I'm not
Yeah,
pulling it.
yeah, lead arm,
Okay.
keeping it bent. We're just trying to do that quick row.
Okay.
Nice. And for those that are watching this, I just want you to think about that left arm coming back and pulling it as far as you can. And then all these other movements will come for free. The leg will start to straighten, the thorax will start to turn, and we'll start to use the ground really effectively.
Wow. My shoulder is hurting. Is that normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really good exercise you can do from anywhere. It's a good workout, as you can see. Slumpy's working pretty hard, and this is going to get you going through the ball impact a lot cleaner. 2 more. Last one. Very good.
Wow, that really helps with the early extension too. I just noticed because you're having to keep the ropes down. You're not coming, as you're pulling it, you're not coming off it like this. And you're almost feeling like the trail foot is rolling over.
100% agree.
Yeah.
And another great point that you've touched on there, thank you for saying that, is in the early extension, sometimes people lack ground force on the left foot. So what tends to happen is their knee will start to slide and then we'll start to go in towards the ball.
Yeah.
Whereas if we start to use the ground, I'll push into my toe, my leg pushes back, my back posture stays in a better position.
Yeah, just looks so much better.
Yeah. So it's that early extension, this staying a bit more clear of the ball.
Yep, okay.
So we're going to use a ball here, mate. Preferably at home. If you can use a medicine ball or something similar, go for it. If you've only got a soccer ball or a basketball, happy days. Just don't bounce it back and hit yourself in the nose.
Yep, okay.
Because I've done that once before and it really hurts. So in this position, we're going to be on a single leg stance. So again, we're going to use the ground to get a good support. We're going into our backswing and we're going to throw and let the ball come up.
Okay.
So a big rotation, loading and pull.
Right, okay.
Alrighty.
And what is that working? It looks extremely hard just by looking at it.
Yeah, it's complex.
Yeah, but is that so that you can create stability on the lower body while being able to still fire? Or?
Yes, exactly. And when we first opened up the video, a part of the swing speed is how fast and how hard you can pull down.
Okay.
So we're training that pull down part,
Yeah.
which is training the anterior chain, so our abs. And then, like you mentioned, the stability.
Okay.
So
Yep.
even if you're listening to this and you're thinking, that's a really hard exercise, fair play, you could start in a split stance position
Yep.
with the back foot on the ground.
Okay.
Or you could even start feet together and just start training that whole pulling down action of the abdominals.
Yep, okay. I'll give it a go.
That's it.
So,
So we're trying to load, good, and then we're going to try and throw. Perfect.
okay.
Good job.
Yeah. So as hard as you can.
As hard and as fast as
Okay.
you can. Nice one.
Maybe like a deflated ball would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, or a med ball that doesn't bounce,
Oh, yeah.
because it just sort of stays there.
Yeah, I think the medicine ball would be perfect for this drill, especially if you're doing this at home. You don't want to be bouncing it off into the ceiling.
100%.
Turn.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So let's try and get a bit more rotation into your backswing here. There we go. And then straight down
And then
the
from
ground.
here, am I recentering and then throwing it? Or from here, I'm just throwing it down?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So this is our backswing one. We'll do the right leg
Mm.
and the same. And like you're throwing it almost like it's just where this foot would be.
Okay.
So like there. And it should go just straight
Yeah,
up.
okay.
Yeah. And then just throwing it straight at the ground. That's it. Nice. And let's try the other side.
Yep.
So again, we're after a big turn towards me this time. And let's try now just straight on. So what we'll do with this one, we're going to hinge.
Okay.
So coming forward,
Yep.
we'll load our glute. From there, we're just going to do an extension. So coming up
Yep.
and then pulling down.
Okay.
So you're going to come up
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
and then pulling down as hard as you can. That's right. Good job. Loading the glute, raising up, pulling down. Great job. And what do you feel working here? What are you trying to
My lower
activate?
back. Yeah, a lot.
I love
Yeah,
that.
as I'm taking it up, that engages a lot, which then allows me to fire, I guess.
And also we've got to some of your stiffness today, or we've
Yep.
looked at some of your mobility issues.
Yeah.
So what we might do is let's try and keep the abs a bit more engaged.
Okay.
We don't want the lower back working much during
Right,
this.
okay.
You might feel some stretching around there.
Yeah.
But let's try and keep a bit more bracing here, just to keep our back neutral,
Okay.
as opposed to arching. We don't want
Okay.
a lot of extension.
Right. Okay.
So let's do that. We'll come up, and then we're going to pull down. Good job. And the last one. Great job. So with this drill, it's a pretty hard one to do, as you've noticed.
Very hard.
We're challenging your stability, we're challenging your balance, and the muscles that we're trying to target is mainly the pectoral muscles
Okay.
and the abs. So on our downswing, our pecs are working at roughly 95% of their capacity.
Okay.
So if we can really get strong and fast in this action, is going to really help with our swing speed later down the path. And
Now on
then
to the last exercise.
the last exercise. So with this one, we're going to do a bit of a jump drill.
Okay.
So we'll try and keep it a little bit more simple. Stretch your hammies and your calves and quads. So with this one, we're going to try and use the ground in our rotation. We're going to add a jump and a spin. So that's essentially what happens in the golf swing. We're loading up, we're trying to use the ground, and we're pushing back off to create our speed.
Yep.
So we're going to start with just the 180 jump.
Okay.
So we're going to try and turn, push, and spin. And we're going to try and land.
Okay. Yep.
So also want you to do as well, Slumpy, with this. I don't want you to land with the legs straight.
Yep.
I want you to try and jump and land with soft knees.
Okay.
This is going to load up our hammies and our glutes.
Sure. Okay.
So let's talk through that.
Load.
Perfect. Good.
Like this?
And then we're going to go back the other way.
Okay.
So we're going to load, you're going to turn towards me,
Oh, turn towards you.
and you're going to jump and spin. Perfect. So this looks too easy for you. So we're going to do a full 360 now.
Full 360.
That's right.
Cool. Okay.
So you're going to turn and face the camera again. Good job. Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Definitely, that was a good effort. And what do you feel working with this one?
Honestly, I'm not too sure, really.
It's a bit going on.
For that exercise, it was just more for A to B. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm turning and trying to land softly. But what does this exercise do?
Yeah, so we're trying to use the ground pretty efficiently with this one. So we're trying to get our force there. We're trying to load our hip and our upper body. And also we're trying to absorb the force on the down phase. Because a big thing with speed training I see is injuries.
Okay.
People get really fast, which is great, but they can't absorb all this new speed. So when we're jumping and slowing down and decelerating, that's teaching our body how to put up with some of that stress. And even if you are doing speed training, that's where left-handed swings come in handy, because they actually help us decelerate our right-handed swings. And for a car analogy, really fast cars have really good brakes, so they can slow down.
Yeah, okay. It's almost like, you know, jumping off of from a high platform, you know, being able to, you know, well, sustain all that energy, all that impact down.
Correct.
I guess.
Correct. Yeah, we want to be able to really just absorb the energy and then keep our training up, because if you're doing your speed training and it's only for a short term, that's not much use for you. We're going to be able to do this safely.
Okay. Very valuable information and tips from Billy. Thank you so much again for coming down and, you know, showing me all the tips and tricks for me to improve my game. I can't wait to apply all of that, and hopefully you might see me on tour. No, it won't happen. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Very helpful for all of you to try and speed up your swing, but doing it safely and in a manner where it creates the most efficiency.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Billy.
Perfect. No, thank you.
See you guys next time.